Long before the maps of Europe hung in classrooms, and before compasses guided sailors, a young man stood on the icy shores of Greenland. He stared west into a horizon no one had ever charted. His name was Leif, son of Erik the Red. He was born of exile, raised in landscapes carved by glaciers and sharpened by winter winds that sculpted both men and mountains. Leif Erikson grew up under a sky where daylight was a rumor in deep winter and a constant companion in summer's endless twilight. From his earliest years, Leif carried a quiet curiosity that set him apart. Where others saw the sea with caution, he studied it with wonder. The ancient sagas describe him as tall, thoughtful, and unusually measured, a man who listened far more than he spoke. Around the fires of Brattahlid, returning explorers told tales of drifting timber, strange warm currents, and glimpses of land far to the west. Most dismissed these as tricks of the ocean. Leif didn't. In the year 1000, after a stay at the court of King Olaf of Norway, Leif returned to Greenland with a new mission: to explore the world beyond the known horizon. He gathered a crew of seasoned men, sailors who trusted his judgment even when they didn't share his certainty. Their long ship pushed west into waters unsettled and uncharted. Days passed, mist thickened. And then, like something revealed rather than discovered, a coastline rose from the fog, wild, green, and untouched. Leif stepped ashore on a land he named Vinland for the wild grapes that hung heavy in its forests. The air here was softer, gentler than Greenland's harsh bite. Rivers flowed with clarity, and timber stood tall and plentiful. This land felt young in a way the North had not felt for generations. Leif and his men built shelters and explored, listening to the sounds of an untouched world. The songs of unknown birds, the rustling of deep forests, and the flow of rivers without familiar names. While their encounters with the indigenous peoples are shrouded in the silence of time, the sagas suggest a mix of curiosity and caution on both sides. Unlike later explorers, Leif sought no conquest-only understanding, resources, and knowledge. After wintering in Vinland, he returned home, carrying stories that seemed too vast for the world he came from. Greenland listened with awe, and Europe, though unaware, had just taken its first step onto a continent it would only recognize centuries later. Leif never sought fame. His voyages weren't fueled by empire or gold, but by the simple desire to know what lay beyond the sea's edge. In the centuries to come, kings and empires would cross the same waters with far larger ambitions and much heavier consequences. But Leif Erikson stands apart, a quiet explorer, a man who reached North America 500 years before Columbus. He is remembered not with noise but with reverence, as the boy who once stared across the ice and felt the pull of a distant, unknown shore.